welcome back to the Range with Yoke. All right, the end is here. You have, well, I have a few long distance calibers that I need to choose which one it is that I will take with me if that time was to come. Now, I have different styles of rifles. We're not going to focus on the brand of the rifle. We're only focusing on the style and we're only focusing on the round. Um, no, I have brought out a few calibers with a few different styles of rifles, and I am trying to figure out for me, based on what it is that I have here today, what would be the best fit for me for long distance hunting, protection, whatever it is that I need for that time. Now, I'm going to give you um, it's not going to be very specific information, but I am just going to obviously tell you what style of rifle this is, whether it's bolt action, semi-auto, and I'm going to give you the roundabout distance for each one of these rounds. So, for example, if the 30-06 can get you 2,500 feet per second at 100 yards, that type of, not saying that that's what it is, but giving you that type of information for each one. And based on how it is that I feel shooting each one of these calibers at 100 yards, I am going to let you know at the end which one it is that I feel would do me best. Now, I have a couple different styles of shooting as well. I have something on a bipod that I will be shooting. Oh, I guess we can discuss that too. Will we be shooting from a bag? Would it be shooting from prone? That would be something a little bit more easier for you. Will you be shooting from the shoulder? Can you, manage that shot at the distance? So what style shooting would actually be the most practical if you're trying to get the most distance? But right now, the most distance that we have is 100 yards. And I must inform you that we are in a safe and controlled environment. We are at the gun range, Immokalee Range and Gun Club to be exact. And this video is for educational purposes only. Now, I do have, as I said, quite a bit of different caliber types. Some that people may not feel is practical enough to get a lot of distance, and some of them may feel like what it is that I don't even think it can be an overkill when you are trying to go for distance. But you just have to remember that when you're shooting these calibers, the further the distance is, you lose the actual punch in what it is that you're shooting. So the further the bullet has to travel, it kind of slows down a little bit more. So if you're wanting to shoot or having, no, I shouldn't say shoot, wanting to harvest your meal or whatever it is that you're hunting at a shorter distance will probably be more suffice or more efficient of these rounds that, or the round that it is that you choose. All right, so we know where we are, we know what we're doing, we know that the end is coming, and I gotta choose a round and we gotta make this work. And yeah, I guess the only thing left now is to suit them up so we can set them down range. Okay, so I'm wondering if I should go in with, yeah, so let's go in each one. I'm going to give you what the caliber is. Again, we're not focusing on the type or the manufacturer of the rifle. We're only talking about the type. So the first one that I have here is a 30-06. So let me give you the specifics, or just a little bit of the specifics on the actual 30-06 really quick. Hold on. 30-40. So the 30-06, this is how it looks. This 30-06 will be coming out of a bolt action rifle, and at 100 yards, where we are, this will give you 2,412 feet per second, and a large game would be preferably harvested with this round at 100 yards where we are. And I'm going to tell you what it is that I'm shooting once we get into shooting, so I'm not boring you out too much. All right, so up next, we have the 308 round. Let me give you, oh, let me give you the information of my source. The source where this information is coming from is Sportsman Warehouse, and Sportsman Warehouse has a rifle caliber chart, and according to their rifle caliber chart is where I'm getting this information from. So up next is that 308 round. The 308, excuse me, 308 Winchester, this one here at 100 yards will give you 2,389 feet per second, and this will also be a good option for large game. But as you get further out within this particular round, up to, let's say, 500 yards, then it would be a small game shot. So remember, the further it is that it is, the less effective the shot is. Not saying that it ain't going to do what it's going to do, but according to this, it's going to be, now we've gone from large game to small game. All right, so up next, we also have another 308 here, and it's the same specifications, it's the same round. So whatever I just said for this 308 is the same for this 308. All right, moving right along. Right here we have the 6.5 Creedmoor. 6.5 Creedmoor. It looks very similar to it's an oversized Grendel, but with the body of a 308. So this one here at 100 yards will give you 2,850 feet per second, and you will be able to take down tough game, meaning bigger than large game. And by the time it gets to 500 yards, you'll only be able to harvest something about like a medium sized game as far as the 6.5 Creedmoor goes. All right, so moving right along. We have something that somebody or some people will feel like is definitely not practical for long distances. In my opinion, anything that comes out of a rifle would probably, well, besides the obvious, would, you know, be pretty decent for hunting. And this is the 7.62 by 39. This is the AK round. At 100 yards, this will give you 2,053 feet per second, and it will get you medium game at 100 yards. And by the time it gets to 500 yards, you'll only be able to pretty much harvest a smaller game at that point. Moving right along, we have us here the 5.56. Again, somebody else will probably say, oh, that's not the most practical, but for the sake of science, the 5.56 223 caliber. Now, they are very similar, but yes, they are quite different. But this one right here is the 5.56 NATO. 5.56 NATO at 100 yards is extremely fast. This is 2,740 feet per second, and this will pretty much only get you small game at 100 yards. By the time you get to 500 yards, it's not even recommended. So would the 5.56 be practical for you if you are trying to hunt and harvest your meals? So 500 yards, not even recommended. All right, moving right along, we are coming back into with a 6.5 Creedmoor. Let me get that. Now this Creedmoor here is bolt action, as was the other one as well. Creedmoor, let me just give you that really quick again. This is how it looks. And we have 100 yards, 2,850 feet per second, and it has tough game takedown. So again, we know where we are, we know what we're doing. We do understand that this video is for educational purposes only. And the only thing left now to do is what? Suit them up so you can send them down range. All right, so we know, now that we know exactly where we are, what we're doing, let me get my ears. And we're gonna go in with this 5.56 first. All right. So we have This one is the the model FN 15, chambered in 5.56 We are shooting 5.56 NATO out of here. And at 100 yards, you can get you some medium game. So I guess that would not be a bad deal. Get myself situated here. I'm a little foggy. Now there is a piece of steel out there, and I don't know if you can hear or not, but it's pretty loud. I mean, it's slapping, but it's not making the sound with the distance that I would like it for you guys to hear. All right, so we are clear, empty, and safe. The FN model FN 15, chambered in 5.56. Up next, we have the IWI Galil, and this one is the Galil ASAR, chambered in 7.62 by 39. That AK round. Everything is so foggy. That round. Oh, that charge is so beautiful. Switch this to fire. Now, weight difference is obviously difference between the two. This Galil weighs quite a bit more than that FN, so I am already getting a little fatigued. And trying to even keep the rifle up on my shoulder, I'm tired. And so standing with this would not be the best option for me. And the weight on here is pretty substantial. All right, so this is the IWI Galil, chambered in 7.62 by 39. So that was a different style. So we got the standing for these two. Okay, let's move on to the table. I'm just going to move these aside, and we are going to deal with what we got here. All right, so we got this 30-06. As I said, it's a pretty, a little taller and probably about the same diameter as the 308. And this is the Savage, chambered in 30-06. This is the Savage Access 30-06. All right, so I am going to get my bag, which I thought I had, my shooting bag. All right, so I got my shooting bag. Let me tell y'all something too. I don't have time to be looking for stuff. But when it is that I got something, I got it. And it's just so much for me to have to go back and do things. So when I made this purchase for this rifle, the magazine was broken. And I didn't realize it until I got to the range when I actually reviewed this for the first time. But the beauty of this is I can drop these in because this is a bolt action. And that is how we are going to be taking these shots with this 30-06. We're going to feel it out. We're going to see how she feels. And we are going to get this first shot right now. Oh! I think I forgot how brutal this round is. Damn. I mean, my hitting the steel, but shit. Ooh. That was a hit. Ooh. So, bolt action rifles, based on what it is that I have been reading, seem to be a lot more, what's the word I'm looking for? Accurate than a semi-automatic. Fruit salad. And I feel like the chances for malfunctions are a lot. Hold on, let me get this shot right quick. I can't even talk and shoot this. Ooh. The chances for malfunctions are lesser because you are actually charging the rifle one by one. Now, that 30-06 round is crazy, as you saw, and as you saw the actual recoil of this rifle was not too pretty as well. So the 30-06 can definitely get out there and harvest whatever it is that I'm harvesting, whether it's 100, 200, 300, 400 yards. But yes, this definitely would be something to consider just because of the performance of that round. All right, so let's go in next with the 308. This 308, let me move that out of the way. All right, so we are empty, clear, no magazine, made safe. Let me drop that back. Shooting bag. I'm gonna put it right here because I'm gonna need it again. All right, so up next, we're gonna go in with the FN SCAR chambered in 308. This is the SCAR 20S. Off rip, I can tell you that this is one that I would only be able to shoot accurately from the bipod or prone, or in a position to where I don't have to actually run and gun with something like this because it's just too heavy. And but in a more of a standstill position, it's definitely a very nice shoot for that 308 round, or a very nice rifle for that 308 round. Let me go up just a little bit. All right, there you go. One of my legs is a little higher than the other, but that's all right. All right, so click on fire and first shot. Hit. Hit. All right, my rifle is jumping around because, as you can see, my bipod doesn't have really good stability as far as the rubber pads on it. So it's moving a little bit more than I would have liked. So we're only going based off of this situation. Shooting from the bench now, although this is a wonderful rifle, all shots on steel, everything was great as far as the functionality of it, but my follow-up shots, my actual scope was all over the place. So if I had to come in with a follow-up shot to actually knock down what it is that I was hunting, it would take me a lot longer because of the way that it was moving around. Now, had I been shooting prone, it would probably have been a super done deal with it. Not in this particular situation. Yeah, the table's a little slippery. So, again, we're dealing with right here, right now, not what if, okay? So this is the FN SCAR 20S chambered in 308. All right, let me drop this magazine, make safe. And we're going to move this out of the way, and we're going to go on to the next one. right. So up next we have us another 308, which is the Saber 10 by PSA. Very, very nice. Definitely not one based on my experience or my experience with this, me shooting it from the shoulder. The weight of it is a bit more than what I would like. So this is definitely going to have to be one that I will be shooting from the bag, from the prone position, somewhere where I am able to keep that more controlled and be as efficient with the rounds when I am taking these shots. All right, 308 at 100 yards. Let's get myself a little closer just because I can. And y'all listen out, all right? Whew. Hit. Although I was experiencing the same type of issue as far as being able to get that follow-up shot on, it was more of a back and forward situation because of that recoil. Although my scope was a little bit thrown off because of the recoil, I was able to get back on target a little bit easier with this shooting bag versus the bipod. So as far as the 308s go right now, it seems like the Saber 10 was a little bit more, follow-up was a little bit better. So that's that. So we're going to move on to the next one. Let me get this out of the way. Head over to this Savage. This one is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. I have very, very good experiences with this rifle. I've harvested a lot of hogs with this rifle. Now, why would you pop out like that? I have harvested a lot of hogs with this rifle, so I am pretty sure that this is going to be nice, and that is so, that's what I'm talking about. I was gonna say, damn, that shit foggy. All right, so same deal. Yeah, watch that. Whew. Hit. Hit. The only thing about bolt actions is follow-up shots. You have to be quick at that next shot. Because if you think you're shooting semi-auto and you pull that trigger, ain't nothing gonna happen because you didn't chamber the next round. So, being quick with something like this is a must, and remembering what it is that you're shooting. So, that is definitely something that you must remember. Now, this has yet to disappoint me, and this is the Savage chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. What a beautiful shoot. All right, let's move right along to another bolt action. Now, this is the Outlier. Now, this Outlier is also chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. Very beautiful, smooth shoot. I enjoy this a lot. I have not had enough table time or tripod time with this, but I can tell you that the few times that I have shot this and take this out, I have been quite satisfied with it. But again, it's bolt action, and we are seeing if this style style rifle. So you got to remember, if we pushing these rounds in, you got to remember to continue to push these rounds in. So we are shooting this one from a tripod. This tripod is not connected to the to the rifle, obviously. The rifle is on top of this tripod. And that'll be something else that you'll have to think about. Do I have time to actually lug around and run around with a tripod? Or do I just have to be stationary wherever it is that I am and uh, deal with it, set it up and just deal with it like that? So let's see. Wow. Do you see this not moving at all? Oh, it should have been one more in there. Wow. What a beautiful shoot. Now, I was explaining to you that, well, you guys know that I enjoy the 308 quite a bit. I like the 308 round. Now, this rifle has the body of the 308, and but yet it has the projectile. I think it's just a little bit taller, just a little bit higher. So the 6.5 Creedmoor to me, I enjoy it. I enjoy. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. That's a 30-06. The 30-06 has the body length, on the body width. Well, the body width of that 308, as well as the 6.5 Creedmoor does as well. It's just different projectile sizes what makes them different, and obviously the casing length what gives you the actual powder in there to give you that fuel that round to get out there and get the distances. So yeah. Yes. So far, based on everything that I have been shooting, uh, I feel like the 30-06 round would probably be the preferred round for me. So if I can have something else chambered in 30-06, definitely would be the one that I would choose. Um, Style of rifle, I feel like a bolt action would probably be a a preferred sniper style, or I shouldn't say sniper style, but more of a uh, uh, you just want to be accurate. You want to be accurate. You're hungry. There's food out there. You're trying to get it, and you cannot afford to miss that shot. And the end is here. You got to feed your family. So what is it that you're choosing? I can tell you that 30-06 round would definitely be the round that I want. Now, the 30-06 coming out of an AR may totally be different. I may not like it. So I would probably stick with the 30-06 coming out of a bolt action, just because I am familiar and feel the way that rounds and the way the bolt actions actually work. You do have your semi-autos, but if you have a sensitive semi-auto, which y'all gonna have to agree with me, because what's true is true, and I always give credit where credit is due. ARs are finicky, they're picky, and they're big babies. You have to be on top of them. You have to make sure that it's clean. If it gets wet, if it's too dusty, the terrain. So it's a lot of things to think about when it is that you're dealing with that AR-9. Again, what will work best? In my opinion, a bolt action chambered in 30-06 would be worth or work best for me. Now, I can guarantee you 100% that there is 100 bolt actions chambered in 30-06 better than this Savage. I can guarantee you that. But based on what it is that I have, which is this Savage, this is a Savage Axle. The way that that round came out of here, you already saw it wasn't playing, and it delivered and it did what it was supposed to do. Feeling at 100 yards, I'm definitely going to take that buffalo home. I'm definitely going to take that elk home. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So putting that in something a little bit more, maybe outlier scale, or maybe even the my 6'5" Creedmoor. This is also a Savage, but it's a better scale of Savage, or maybe even something like that. But yes, most definitely would have to go with a bolt action Shaman and 30 Act 6. So, what did y'all think? What did y'all see? How did y'all feel? Let me know. Drop that in the comments. What do you choose? First, I want to know, what do you choose based on what it is that I have? And then I want you to choose based on what it is that you have. Drop that in the comments. Or what is your dream? What is your dream long distance round and rifle? Drop, y'all, don't come in here 50 BMG, because we trying to eat. We ain't trying to just blow up the damn meat. We trying to eat. Drop that in the comments. Let me know. I am interested. I want to know. I want to know. So with that being said, Yo Gang, thank you so much for supporting the channel just by watching this video. And y'all know I love it when things work, but I love it for life. Mucho besitos.